MotorWeek is made possible by Tire Rack.
Now I know Mazda likes to talk about their flashy RX-7 sports car and their stylish 626 sedans, but that doesn't mean that they want to ignore their simple and economical GLC, and neither do we. Even though it might be easy for it to get lost in the shuffle, since there are so many cars in the same subcompact category as the GLC. It also doesn't help that everybody's going for much bigger cars again these days. Base price of the hatchback is $5,195. The sedan, $6,695. And even this three-boxer with high-line luxury trim is only $7,395. So it's easy to see that the GLC might be a bargain, especially since Mazda dealers have more of a reputation for going slow on added dealer markups than most other import sellers. But okay, enough of the sales pitch. What do you get for this modest price? Well, first off, the kind of paint quality and fit and finish that you expect on any car but don't always find. Then there's utility. Room for 4 adults, more than expected, with easy entry through rear doors that are wider than normal for a subcompact. And the split 60/40 seat backs fold nearly flat, so the already large trunk can also handle much longer items such as skis or a garden hoe. Since this is just a slightly spiffed up commuter car, you won't find an opulent interior. On the other hand, it's no poorhouse either. The front bucket seats are covered with good-looking fabric, though we suspect it might wear quickly. The cushions are flat, with little side support, but feel well padded and did hit us at the right spot in the lower back. The shifter protrudes from a small floor console that, like the dash, has just a touch of genuine plastic wood. The hooded instruments are clear, but you get a tachometer only with the luxury trim. While we would like to see more dials, at least there's a comprehensive system of warning lights. Power seems just about right. Mazda's 1.5-liter four-cylinder is fed by a 2-barrel carburetor and sprouts 69 horsepower and 83 pounds of torque. Dipsticks are obvious, and the oil filter can be reached from up top. Only the belts might require a mechanic to double as a contortionist. While the base GLC hatch is equipped with a 4-speed manual, the 5-speed on all other models is preferred. Its moderately short, if stiff linkage worked well, with only a mild case of cold start notchiness. You should also probably remember that this is an economy car with a small engine, so we wouldn't advise the 3-speed automatic option. After all, the Mazda GLC, even with a manual, is no hot rod. 0 to 60 takes 14.4 seconds. That's about average for all cars. But there isn't much power to spare. Plus 6.6 seconds to go from 40 to 55 in third gear is a bit longer in the left lane than we'd like. But acceleration is quite acceptable, given the mileage expectations of the GLC. The EPA, even under its new system, rates this model at a high 31 city and 38 highway. That's very good, and we did better. 40 miles per gallon over our 100-mile urban loop. But alas, there are some problems with the GLC that are too big to explain away. It had a very tough time on our handling course. The ride of the GLC is pretty soft, but we didn't expect quite so much body roll. The suspension is far too lazy and tires too narrow for its moderately quick steering. After a few turns, a pendulum effect beats the struts and springs against their stops. It's one thing to encounter that at slow speeds, but it can be frightening if you're trying to avoid an obstacle at 55 or above. We felt much better about the GLC's power-assisted disc drum brakes. Stops from 55 were very short, with an average of only 116 feet. Fade 2 was minimal, since over 6 tries, distances varied only slightly from a short of 112 feet to a long of 120. Practical buyers will also like the GLC's turning circle, 31 feet from curb to curb. That's even tight for a subcompact. If it's usually true that you get what you pay for, then the Mazda GLC seems to be a most respectable buy. Except for its handling, it seems to do everything you expect of a small car in average fashion or better. It's a good car, not a great car. But in the inexpensive, high-mileage subcompact class, it's a choice that definitely shouldn't get lost in the shuffle.